Yo, so today I'm gonna teach y'all how to trade your chart with no indicators. I mean, it's gonna be naked. You feel me? So let's get straight into it.
Working a 9 to 5, I had to go and feed the gods. Nobody did it right, I had to show them how to grind. I had to beat the odds, this is the life I live for God. Taking a step at a time, we going up, we headed to Mars.
Yo, what's going on, man? Before we even start this video, man, y'all gotta thumbs it up because you already know it's about to be valuable. You dig? It's your boy Jeremy Cash, man. Before we get started, I'm gonna give y'all the scripture of the day. So it's Psalms 29:11. May the Lord give strength to his people. May the Lord bless his people with peace. I know a lot of y'all are dealing with loss, including myself and my family, you know, with my wife losing her grandfather, things like that. A lot of people are losing people. A lot of people just need strength and peace in their life because they're going through a lot. You know what I'm saying? So may the Lord bless y'all with all of that. With that being said, yeah, man, let's get straight to the video. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Let go. Let's get straight into it, man. I'm right here on Boeing. All right. So as I've shown you guys before, usually the best way to trade without indicators, because a lot of the times it gets messy on the chart and people get confused with so much going on. So the only things that you will need to know is support and resistance, you know, like market structure for the most part. That's pretty much it. So I'll show you here. The only thing you need to know is you find spots, again, that touch in the same area. And when the chart is completely like empty, no indicators, you can just see all the spots very clearly, right? You can see all of the zones, okay? And so what you can do is, like I said, you can mark them up if you would like to, however you would like to. You know, you could do it like this. You could find other spots that touch in the same area as well, right? These are all in the same vicinity, all of this here. And you will be able to mark those up as well. And like I said, once the chart is completely naked, you can see it clear as day, right? So resistance, support. The only thing we're looking to do is sell at resistance, buy at support, right? Every chart. Now, for the most part, everything is not gonna be this perfect. Like this right here is the perfect, I mean, this is perfect. Every time it drops here, we buy up. I mean, it's not gonna look like this every single time. You know what I mean? And so I don't want people to expect that every single time. So another one of the great things you could do is you also are able to use like trend lines. And so if I grab a trend line tool, we can go here, right? And the reason why this here is so important is because if the market decides to drop here, right down here in this area, this is where we'll be looking to buy at, okay? And so that's why support and resistance, trend lines, market structure, all of that is gonna play a key role if you don't wanna use indicators at all, okay? Like for the most part, like the Keltner and all that stuff. If it's just too confusing, then yeah, you don't wanna use it and you just wanna trade without any of it. But right now I'm using the Heiken candles. And so for those of you who don't know how to get to those, you just click over here where it says like M1, you click on Heiken candles. So rule of thumb on the Heiken candles, 3 flat bottoms, you can usually continue in that direction. So what do I mean by that? You see how this pair right here, flat, it doesn't have a wick up here at the top. This one's flat, this one's flat. So the next 3 or 4 candles are good, right? So step 1, flat, 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 and then so the next ones you should be able to get in on at least a 2, 3, 4 minute trade, because the next candle, 1, 2, 3, that was a 3-minute trade. If you did a 2-minute trade, 1, 2, you would have got it. If you did a 5-minute trade, you would have got it. All right, and so you're able to use those the Heiken candles to exactly see when the market is getting ready to turn around. Now, this one here, if you look here, this candle has a small wick at the bottom. This one has a flat bottom, small wick. This one doesn't have a flat bottom. And so that's why I potentially wouldn't have taken this trade based off Heiken candles alone. You know, and then you do have fake outs like here. You got a flat bottom, you got a second one, you got a third one here, but then if you would have took a 2-minute trade, you'd have been good because of these 2 candles. right? 1, 2, you got that drop. But anything above 2 minutes, you would have lost. A 3-minute trade, by that time you would have been here on the 3rd candle. And so you always want to make sure, you know, you mark your chart up properly to make sure that you don't get faked out by all of these. And that's why the support and resistance is always going to play a good part in whatever it is that you're doing. So let me go over here to, I'll go to American Express, and it's kind of looking the same, right? I mean, you can see the chart very clearly, and based off what I'm looking at now, you can already start to see the levels for your support and resistance zones, okay? You can already see the levels, right? And so if I decide to go here with it, I could just simply, I could do this, stretch it out, and boom, right? And then at the bottom, you can just find all your points. Let me remove that. You can find all your points here. That's in the same area. I mean, you could just see them clear as day. All these are around in the same vicinity of each other. And so from there, you would just draw another zone, right? And so I can move this up a little bit, you know, if I need to. Stretch it out if it needs to be stretched out a little bit. But from here, I got my key points. So yeah, I would be looking for the market to bounce from here to here over time, all right? And so if I need to stretch this out some, I could do that. If I need to add smaller zones, we could do that. You know what I mean? And so let's say I want to add smaller zones in here. You know what I mean? Why? Based off of this here and all these touches right here that you can see, okay? So you can always go and add smaller zones everywhere, depending on here, here, and here. You can add those too. Because sometimes you might have to trade a smaller zone until it gets to the bigger breakout. So we could be looking for the market to drop down here. So I could be looking to sell for at least 3 to 4 minutes till the market reaches here. And since this is such a strong level of support right here, all of these wicks, I mean, you got a lot of them in the same area. Since that's such a strong level, then we should be able to get another bounce here back up in this direction. But if the market breaks through here, forms another candle here, then, you know, we could be looking to head down this way. All right. And so that's why if you're going to trade your chart like this, it's best to mark it up exactly how I'm showing you. It'll make it a lot easier on the eyes. You know what I mean? And it'll be a lot less confusing. Because if I'm looking at these candles, let's say you are trading the Heiken Ashi candles and I'm looking at these candles and I'm not seeing the patterns, the 3 flat bottoms, then how would I know how to trade it if I don't have anything marked up? Now, I honestly prefer trading indicators, but this right here is perfect. I like how clean it is. I like how I could set it up and I could just wait. And like I said, on here, if you go over here to pending orders, you could just click on pending orders and you see where this price tool right here is. You just add in the price. You know, if you're confused about any of that stuff, all you have to do, oh, let me get off this draw tool, there we go. All you gotta do is come over here, get your horizontal line or vertical line, any one of these, right? You'll find price and then you'll just add the price in there. And then if it hits it, for example, let's say here. So the price to the left is at 175, 112. I would just add that in the pending order. If the market drops down here, it'll open my order. And if we get that, we'll be in profit, at least 2 to 3 minute trades. You know what I mean? And so that's good for that. Let me go here to Facebook, okay? And so I already got another small zone right here. So we got that bounce, headed back down in this direction, okay? Now, I do see a W forming right here. So if you know anything about W's, then you know we could potentially go up here long term. But based off what I'm seeing right now, this is a pretty strong zone, so we may end up going down in this direction for at least 2 to 3 minutes. I'm trying to find a difficult pair to trade, that way I can show you exactly how to trade it. This ain't that difficult. This is fairly easy too. But the more I talk about it, I'm sure you can start to see exactly where those levels are, okay? So right here, you can just see it out the gate. like I told you, the best way to trade this is support and resistance. You can just see them. So once you look at the chart, let's see here, here, okay? And I could just mark that up the same way. All right, I can mark it up here. Matter of fact, I could drag it from here, mark it up the same way. Now, how simple does this look? How simple does that look? All right, you could bounce from here, go down. You'll catch another good entry here, so you'll get an entry here. You also can do an entry here on a sell to come down. Okay. You get a bounce here to go up. And boom. Now, if you want to do smaller zones, you're able to do that. So if I want to do a smaller zone, I can mark up smaller zones like this. Right? And if I want to go even further over, I could do that. Because sometimes we may get that bounce from here, here, and then it may come back down. And so you're able to do that. Right? Now I'm using these tools based off of my screen recorder, but the tools that you're gonna need will be right here. Okay? Just the rectangle box. It'll look just like that, and you can mark it up the same way. All right, change the colors of it and all that. But you gotta admit, this does look a lot cleaner. You know, it does look a lot more pleasing to the eye. You know what I mean? Instead of all the extra indicators and stuff. So if you like trading like this, then definitely do so. It'll help you out a lot. You can mark up any chart like this, and I mean, everything will just flow perfectly. So we're gonna come here to Pfizer. I'm looking at this. It has great market structure. All right. So boom, you see this level here? Came down. This level here did not pass the previous level. Okay? So what does that mean? We're going back down again. This level here did not pass this previous level. So what does that mean? We're going down again. This level here did not pass this previous level, so we're going down. Right? Same thing all over. This level did not pass this previous level, so we're going to continue in the downtrend. And so that's market structure. But whenever the market breaks market structure, for instance, let's say the candles start coming up like this, right? And they start breaking previous lows, then that's how you know the trend is getting ready to change, because this high starts to pass the previous highs, right? This one starts to pass, you know, and so now we know we're in a different trend direction. And so that's basic market structure. So if you get that down, along with support and resistance, then you should be good. Honestly, those two things alone, knowing those two things will save your trading on pocket options. No cap. You know what I'm saying? And you don't even have to use the Heiken Ashi candles. You can use normal candles. However, whatever works best for you. But any chart that you look at from now on, you will be able to see exactly how it needs to be traded. Okay? Exactly. So just looking at it, I see a zone here. Why? Because look at it. Zone. They all touch in the same area. Smaller zone. Okay? So we're probably in a channel, horizontal channel, right? Just consolidating, and eventually it's gonna break out. So eventually we may get a breakout to this side or a breakout to this side. But right now, the candles are pretty much gonna be forming in here until it decides to finally break out. Okay? So once it breaks out, we're good. But for right now, just looking at it, we know we're on an uptrend just based off this here. You can just tell the candles are all pushing up. So without any indicators, I can already see what's going on. And like I said, you can always mark smaller zones up like this. Okay? You can leave that there. And you see it's trying to break through. And if it does, then it's probably going to continue in an upward direction. All right? And so that's good. If you also look, we got a W here. And I always tell people to make sure they trade the second leg of the W, which is this. Boom. And I don't know if y'all follow the Forex channel, which I know a lot of y'all do. I just went over a video about head and shoulders. You see? And so right here, if you look clearly, you can see it. Head, shoulders. Boom. Headed up. Not only that, we got multiple confirmation. 1 flat bottom, 2 flat bottom, 3. The rest of the flat bottoms from there, we could have took a 3-minute trade right here, right? Or if you want to take a 5-minute trade, 6-minute trade, you'd have been good all the way up, all right? And so hopefully this has helped you learn how to trade the chart without any indicators, and hopefully you learn how to find great entries. You already know how I do. Make sure you ask God for forgiveness of all your sins. Make sure you living pure, staying right, getting this money on these charts, taking care of your family. And Lord willing, I will see y'all in another video. Peace.
Going to different locations, how they got when I need some direction. Me and Vinci go up every session. Cook it up, yeah, you know it's no pressure. Yeah, you know how we do what we all in. We can slow up and you never get.